Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday night of stamping. My name is Sarah Simon. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is working okay. I have noticed in the last couple of days that my computer keeps not restarting, but it kind of like blinks every once in a while. It just did it. So I don't know if that's going to affect my camera when I'm this way. It shouldn't affect my phone at all. So welcome to another night of stamping. The new holiday catalog goes live tomorrow. Let's see who we've got here. We've got Denise and Julie and Amanda. Hello, Kelly and Michelle and Nancy and Kathy and Betty and Sarah and April and Kay and Karen and Jeanne and Amanda. Thank you guys all for joining me. I am going to tonight feature a couple of products from the new catalog to get you a little bit excited about that. I probably could pull some of the things from my card buffet and I could show you some of the other things that I've made with some of the product as well. But I'm really, really excited. I spent all weekend stamping pretty much. I took Sunday off. I went up to visit my mom and dad at our cottage on Sunday, but I worked all day Saturday and I worked all day Monday. In fact, Monday, I threw on sweats and a t-shirt when I got up and I never left my house. I pretty much sat at my desk all day. My day was wonderful, Sandy. I hope yours was wonderful as well. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm back in the high school classroom. I have one class just first term. We're on block schedule, so it's 90 minutes of my day. And I am just finding that I absolutely love being back in the classroom. I didn't realize how much I missed like having that, building those relationships with the kids. So I'm really excited about that too. So let's give away some prizes. Should we? Oh, you know what? I had some happy mail. I had something from Kay Van Epron that's sitting on my table in my kitchen. I will show it next week. How about that? Hello, Karen. What time can we start ordering? I'm in the central time zone. So the central time zone, it is midnight, I believe, at mountain time. So that would be 1:00 for us. Hi, Lila. Did you come to say hello? So I believe that it is at 1:00 our time that you can start ordering. I'm not sure what stuff is going to go fast. Like we got to pre-order and I haven't seen that anything is starting on back order. So that's always a good thing. The suite of products that I'm going to use, I'm going to do a very simple card with it, but it was my favorite suite of products in the catalog. I was in a swap and I got my least favorite suite in the catalog was the one that I had to work with, but I thought I did a pretty darn good job considering I wasn't crazy about the suite. So I'll share some of that stuff with you as well. Hello, Kay Van Epron and Karen. I don't know if I said hello to you guys. So let's give away some prizes. So last week, we made this very simple layout card, something for fall and a thank you. And then we did our puzzle. I'd been wanting to do a puzzle. I did it with just 4 pieces. I think I showed you a card with the lily pond lake. I don't know, whatever that paper is. Kay Van Epron had made one several weeks ago as a thank you for me. And I had shared that one. She had 8 puzzle pieces that she put together. I did just 4 because with mine, I would have had some pieces that basically were just blue. So it was easier to do it with 4. So receiving these for commenting last week is Kelly Wildenberg. So Kelly, I will get these off in the mail to you. Those of you who won prizes the last 2 weeks, I really have to apologize. So I said that they were going to go out. I was on live on Wednesday and I said they were going to go out Thursday. Well, Karen Karst won and she had a little 3D item, which I couldn't put in one of those like bubble things because it would have just gotten crushed. And I didn't have a box that it fit in. So I waited and I went to the post office on Friday and I picked up a box that I thought was going to work for it. It didn't after all. But then Saturday, I ran all the stuff to the post office, got it all in the mail. And this morning it tells me that it was still waiting for a pickup. And I'm like, honestly, I dropped it off on Saturday. And I dropped not like after hours, it was 11 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not quite sure why that didn't go out, but hopefully you will be getting them soon because I did package everything up and I did send them. And these I will package up tonight and get those in the mail tomorrow. And then for sharing, so anytime you share, so like Sarah just hit that she shared, and Karen Kozleski indicated that she shared, you also get put into a drawing to win things. And so what I do is I just put all the names, you all get a number. I randomly pick a number on my computer and that person gets the prizes. So these are going to be in the new catalog. Look at those things. They look like the little Starlight Mints or whatever they're called. And they're super flat. So you really wouldn't have to add extra postage with these. So receiving these for sharing last week is Sue Thomas. And Sue, if you are on here, I'm not sure if I have your address. So if you've never won anything from me before, then pop me an email at createwithsarahllc@gmail and let me know what your address is. I'll look it up in my Pirate Ship, which is the company that I use, and I store all my addresses in. So if it's there, I'll put it in the mail for you. Otherwise, if you know you haven't received anything in the past, make sure you email me on that. All right. Are you ready to have me flip the camera? I still can't open this. So if you haven't received one of these yet, I know that Nancy made a comment that she didn't receive one, and I went and looked, and it's sitting somewhere in Illinois, and it has been there for 4 days. And it hasn't moved. It has just said that it's been there, like 4 business days. So if you need one of these, let me know and I will get one in the mail. And Nancy, I'm going to put yours in the mail with my prizes that I'm putting in. So just leave a comment that says, please get me a catalog. More Than Autumn, Julie, I did not play with that one. I made one card that I will show you afterwards. It's copied from somebody, so it's not an original. So I don't like to do those on my live, but there's so much there that I had so many other things to do that I didn't have time to really give it justice. So I'm hoping that will be my live on Saturday. So I am going back to Saturdays at 8:30 and it will start this Saturday. I'll be live at 8:30. And then I will continue to be on Saturdays instead of on Tuesdays. We have volleyball games on Tuesdays and I do the scorebook. So there'd be a lot of Tuesdays that I had to cancel. And Saturdays, quite honestly, are easier for me because I don't have to rush home from school and try to get ready to go. So I will be live again this Saturday. So just in a few days. And I will try to do that autumn one. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and flip my camera and let's see. And I got to go like that and that. I'm going to turn my overhead light off. Okay. I think I have less. This is the old catalog, so I can have that open. I just can't have the new one open until tomorrow. And I have that open because I'm going to show you the layout that we're going to use for our cart. So this is a double bundle suite. Peaceful Season has a bunch of really cool sayings for Christmas. And it has these dies. You can see I used some of them already. This one says the word Christmas, and then it's a bunch of things that you can stamp some of those greetings inside of. So, just love that. And then it's paired with the Peaceful Evergreens, and I don't think I have the dies in here. I haven't put these even together yet. So these are beautiful trees, and it also comes with an embossing folder that has some evergreen trees. It's called Painted Trees. It comes with a beautiful cherry cobbler with, I don't know if that's gold or copper. I think it's gold. I think it even says gold on there. Cherry cobbler in gold. And this is super thin. And the reason it's super thin, I'll show you. But when you cut some of those labels, they have little slits in them that you can stick ribbon through. And so it had to fit through those little slits. So I would guess that this is probably maybe 3/8 of an inch wide. And it's so easy to tie bows and stuff with it. And then these beautiful gems that are, I think they're called gold textured adhesive back gems. Look at that. They are just beautiful. All right. And then let me get this out of here. I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to show you which design from there I'm going to use. This is the designer paper. So this is called Season of Elegance. And I'm going to tell you that Kathy Miller and I, as soon as we saw the catalog, you can see I cut into this a little bit. As soon as we saw the catalog, we're like, this is going to be our Christmas class. So we will, when we do our holiday class where we do 3D items and things like that, this is the set that we're going to be using. So this has old olive and mossy meadow along with some gold foil. So there's foil on one side, and then the other side is just more of like a painted, I don't know what you call that, a painted wash or whatever. And this has crumb cake and basic beige along with gold, and then those colors in there. And then there is cherry cobbler. Look at that. Like there's little gold flecks. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if the camera does it justice. And then there's that on the back. And then here's a little bit more. This has a little bit more of the gold in it. And then this is more straight lines instead of the painted look. Look at this. Lost Lagoon. And I think it's Pretty Peacock. Let me look. Real red, gold, Pretty Peacock, and Lost Lagoon. That is correct. So Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Look at that. Can you imagine with those trees? Oh, it's going to be so beautiful. And then we have another one that has more of the cream color. And then this is more of the straight instead of more of the paintbrushy look. I don't know what all the real terms are. So just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous paper, stamp sets to go with it. I'm going to keep my ribbon and these close by because we're going to use those in our card. And then I couldn't open up the mini catalog. So there's some of these there as well. Hello, Crystal from Iowa. Thank you for joining me. Are the gems flat? These are not flat. These are raised up. I don't know if you can see how high they are raised up. So yeah, that's the only kind of bummer about these. Hi, Amy, is that they are raised up. So you would probably have to put something over the top of your card to kind of protect it through the mail. And you might have to add a little extra postage. Okay, so these wonderful layouts are where I went to get my layout for tonight's card. And I used this one right here. Okay, so I'll go a little bit closer. So it looks like there were 3 panels, and then there was like a little banner in between the first and the second layer. And then there was a circle. I took some creative liberty and I'm replacing that circle with one of those dies and putting a greeting inside of that die to make a very simple Christmas card. So I don't know about you, but when I'm making Christmas cards, and if you have to make a lot of them, I don't like to make something that takes a ton of time for every single person. I like to have some where I know the people are just going to throw them away and they don't really care that it's a homemade card. Do you know those people? I have some of those people in my life. For them, I'm just going to make something very simple. It's still going to be beautiful, but it's going to be very simple. And so that's what this card is going to be. So let me get my banners here so I can give you some dimensions. And I don't think that you are able to see that my computer keeps glitching, but my computer keeps glitching and it's bothering me. I may have to have somebody check it out or get a new one. It's really old, so I may need a new computer. All right, so our card base is going to be old olive, and this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So it's just going to be a normal folding card. I'm layering that with Mossy Meadow, and this measures 4 by 5 1/4. So that's just going to go right over the top of that because I was using this paper that has both of those colors in them, which there's been a lot of Old Olive and Mossy Meadow because that Season of Green and Gold also has that. So I thought about using the Cherry Cobbler, but I kept coming back to this green because I really liked it and I wanted my label on Cherry Cobbler and I wanted that to kind of pop a little bit. So that's why I came back to the green. So if you're wondering, why does she keep using green? That's why. Hello, Marva. And then I also have a 4 by 5 1/4 in basic white. That's going to go on the inside of my card. All right. Then I have 3 strips of the designer paper that measure 3 3/4 by 1 3/8. Now, if you don't like 1/8 of an inch, do it by 1 1/4, and you'll just have a little bit of a bigger space between each one of the pieces. So these are just going to get layered like this on here. Okay, and this one's going to come up here. And so you would just, if you cut it at 1 1/4, you would just have a little bit more space in between those two. So if you don't like 1/8 of an inch, you can't figure all of that out, cut it at 1 1/4. All right. Better to cut it this one smaller than cut it bigger. All right. And then I have this, which is 4 inches by 3/8. Here too, you would have to cut it at a quarter. Don't cut it any bigger than that because we're going to actually slide this through here like so. Right? So that's going to go through there. And if you cut it bigger, if you cut it bigger than 3/8 and you cut it to a half, you can't fit it in. And I know this because I tried. Yeah, Renee, this is really, really pretty paper. Hi, Lori. I'm glad you made it. All right. So that is our goal. This was a scrap of Cherry Cobbler, which I already cut that out of the die cut. And then I took a piece of the paper and I cut this by 1/2 of an inch by 5 1/4 inch. And if you wanted to cut this a little bit bigger, you could. But this is just going to line the inside layer, and I decided to do it this way since all the other ones were horizontal. I thought, oh, let's put a vertical one on the inside, switch it up a little bit. All right, and then I have a piece of the paper that I'm going to add to the outside of my envelope as well. All right, let's go ahead and start with our stamping. So we need our label and we need the inside. I'm going to go ahead and set this here. I'm not going to glue it just in case I make a mistake stamping, but I'm going to set this here so that I can center my greeting that I want on the inside. And on the inside, I'm going to use Mossy Meadow ink, which here it is. I set the prizes there over the top of it. And on the outside, I'm going to stamp friends and family are the true gifts of Christmas. I thought that was a cool saying. And then on the inside, it's going to say, thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest, I think it says. Okay, so I'm going to stand up so I can get this straight. That looks pretty good. And then that is centered because I threw that on there. Now I could go ahead and glue it. I'm going to close this up and I'm going to bring in my Versamark. And pull that back in there. I'm going to, looks like I got some green in my Versamark. I am going to, on an angle so that it's this way, I am going to stamp that friends and family greeting. And I love this because the font is a little bit thicker. I like thicker fonts when I'm doing my heat embossing because it just shows, it's just like that much richer looking, I think. All right, let me put these in here before I end up getting powder all over them. All right, and I'm just going to dip this in my container. I like to keep it all inside the container. All right. And then we will use our heat tool to set that, I'm actually going to set it aside. These are our new embossing. They're the Wow ones. And I think that they're a little bit like shinier gold than our other ones were. Doesn't that look cool? I still think heat embossing was one of the first things that I learned stamping. And it was one of those things that it was like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love that. And so whenever I come back to heat embossing, I still get that same, like, it's so cool when you see it turn that gold color. All right, that's all we have to do for stamping to get ready to put our card together. So I'm going to go ahead, since this is a really tiny strip, I am going to use my glue press with the liquid glue. And I'm going to set that. I'm going to go all the way to the corner and not even leave a little bit of the white showing. Come on. That's what's nice about the little liquid glue, because I can just kind of bump it over with my finger a little bit. Whoops. Let's see, it does that too. It moves where you don't want it to go. All right. And then looks like I'm almost out of this. I'm going to have to replace. I was finishing up my swaps for a swap I was in. I had them all designed, but I had to finish making them. So I finished making those. I had to make my 12 cards. I was down to needing 8 of them on Saturday morning. And by Saturday night, I had all 8 of those designed and made 2 of each one and took the pictures so I could get things off to the ladies who are coming to my card buffet. Okay, so there's our inside. And then we will build this layer right here. So I am going to start with the bottom. And what I do is I try to make it so that there's an equal edge along the 3 sides that you can, not this big opening here, but these 3 sides. I try to keep it as best I can so that they have an equal amount on all 3 of those sides. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing at the top. And I didn't really concern myself with making sure that the paper lined up. If you had kind of a really busy, pattern, you would probably want them to match up. Hi, Tammy. Thanks for joining. We're just kind of getting started. Okay, so now notice I've got this really big, this is where this is going to come in. So that's going to go in that opening, and our label is going to go right there as well. See how super easy this card is? So I know it requires some heat embossing and that takes a little bit of time, but honestly, this card goes together pretty darn fast. There's a little bit of die cutting to die cut those labels. But this would really, to me, it would be like, this is going to be to those people that it's pretty. It's not over the top. Hi, Linda. But I just think it's a gorgeous card. All right, so this is going to go in here. Before I put that in there, I'm going to take some of our ribbon and let me double this up and see about how much I need. But like that should be good. All right, and what I'm going to do, and where did I get this from? I looked in the catalog and I'm like, what did they do with these slits? And they took the ribbon and they just like folded it over like this and they weaved it. So they put it in here like so. Let's see if I can do this. I'm going to actually just put it all together now and I'll separate it after. And then weaved it back through. Come on. And then since that layout that I was using, oh goodness, had the gold banner, or it had a banner. It didn't have a gold banner, but it had a banner going through here like this. I thought, well, I could put those through there if I wanted to. So I'm just going to figure out where I want this. And I don't want a whole lot of loop at the top because this is going to set here. And I don't want it really taller than my card. So when I figured out where I wanted it, I just kind of flipped it over. I'm grabbing some Scotch tape and I'm just holding that in place. Okay, and if you want to put some a little bit down here to hold that, but I found that it stayed in place pretty well. All right, for my banner, I'm gonna, well, my little gold strip, I'm gonna actually make it into a banner. And I just cut up the center. And then depending on how like narrow you want these little things, you can decide how far up the center you want to go. So one makes it a little bit longer and more pointy. And then other one makes it not quite as long and pointy. All right, I'm going to do the same thing. This is our textured foil paper, and it comes in different colors. This is the gold that was in there. So we have regular gold sheets, and then we have this textured gold. And I really liked, you can kind of see there's a little bit of texture into the gold, in the gold. The lights are kind of shining on it too much, but this label, Linda, is from it's from this bundle right here. It has a lot of really, really cool labels. So it has, and words that fit in them. So it has this one, it has a smaller one, it has two different size ribbon ones, and then it has these two little fancy ones that have stitching, and then this little embossed stuff, kind of like how this is embossed in the corners, it's embossed right there. And this has little slits that you can put ribbon through it as well. So love these dies. All right, so again, I'm going to put this through here, and I'm going to put that through the other end and center it up. Pull it so it looks like it's kind of centered. And again, I'm just going to pop a piece of Scotch tape here just to kind of hold that in place. All right, now I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. I thought I grabbed a new pack. Oh, they're sitting here. I went through so many dimensionals this weekend that I cut, look at this. I've got this sheet, completely cut everything off. I've got this sheet, cut everything completely off. And I was like, I only have minis left. I've got another sheet over here that I cut all of them off. So I'm like, I need a new pack. Hi, Karen Wetstein. All right, let's get these out of here. All right. Just going to throw a bunch of dimensionals on here. And then the other thing that I decided to do, I'm going to put that right there as well. I decided to put a glue dot. Get my take your pick tool. Sorry, I'm reaching over there. I should have had that stuff out ahead of time. I'm just going to pick one up, and I'm actually going to glue these down so that they're not undimensional. So it looks like the gold strip is laying flat and that the label is over the top of it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really want the gold strip to look like it was raised up. So when I centered this, I pushed that down and I pushed that down, and then the rest is on. Oh, you know what? I never took the things off, the dimensionals. Oh my goodness. Were you guys all going, Sarah, you got to take the backs off? There's that one. Let's see if I can get this one. I do some of the dumbest things sometimes. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can get these. I have a little bit of a nail. Lila's just hanging around tonight. She usually doesn't hang around in there this long. She's so sick of me being in this stamp room. She was so happy on Sunday to be able to go to the cottage and go for a boat ride because it meant she didn't have to sit and watch me stamp all day. Poor dog. All right, I'm going to trim these up a little bit. Oops. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to take some of these gold gems, some of this stuff off of here. And I'm just going to put a couple of these on here. So I'm going to take one of the bigger ones and set it there. I'm going to take a little one. I'm trying to put it where there's not like a whole bunch of gold. And then we'll put another one, come on, up there. All right, so there is our first card using, I mean, super simple, right? Not really that hard. Paper does a lot of the work. Just a completely easy layout that you could use with any kind of paper, really. I started to work on when I was doing this yesterday, and then I was like, no, I want to use the paper that is my favorite. So I'll show you what I started to work on. I'd never finished it because, and I think I have it sitting here somewhere. Yep, I see it. I have so much stuff that I have to clean up because I was like, okay, nope, I'm not going to use that. Nope, I'm not going to use that. Oh, I want to use that. There's so much in a new catalog, and it's like, okay, when am I going to start playing with all of this stuff to make cards so that I have them for my classes and for you guys? All right, so there we go. Just gorgeous, right? Super cool sayings on the outside and the inside. The fonts match the outside and the inside, and just everything. The paper does the work. Here's the other one that I started to make. All right, so I use this paper is a little bit shorter and it's not quite as wide. All right, so I did a little different. Here I did some paper piecing. I don't know if you've ever done paper piecing. Oh, Dee, you got a paper or a glue gun press? Yes, I love mine. But what I did was I stamped this cup on white. And then what I did is I stamped it on this designer paper and I cut this out really close to the lines and I replaced it with that. And I thought was I could make this into a gift card holder somehow, but I didn't have like a greeting on here and it wasn't quite coming together the way that I wanted it to. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the paper that I really like. And with those labels, it just kind of fit. This layout just really fit. So, but that's a little bit of a sneak peek. This is the, is it called More Than Autumn? And it's got coffee and it has donuts and it has pumpkin pie and it has words that you can cut out that say pumpkin and autumn. I don't think autumn. I can show you. Here's a card that's in my buffet that I used for a fall one. Nothing better than pumpkin spice. And so you can stamp little things on your cups. And I use, this is the paper that's in our Latte Love designer series paper, except maybe you. All right. So fun way to bring in other paper that we already have for fall and be able to put some little cinnamon sticks in there. They've got some peppermint sticks you can put in. They have like a snowman's face. They have gingerbread. This is a really cute little stamp set. So anyhow, thought I would at least show you that to highlight a few more of the products that we have in our new catalog. All right, next, let's see. So I'm going to admit to you that I did not get this suite of products. All I did was get the paper and the gems. I always get every pack of paper that we have in our catalogs because I figure I'll use them somewhere. This paper is called Regal Winter. And like I said, it wasn't like when I looked at it, I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I have to have that set because I have so many floral sets, right? So I got the paper, I got these gems, I got the ribbon. Oh, look at this. Blackberry Bliss in gold. And it ties the most beautiful bows and stuff. It's just gorgeous. But this paper is all these different floral type images. So you can see that one. I played with this one. I'm going to show you some stuff with that. And then we have these florals. And then on the back, we've got more florals that are just in this one I just showed you. Here, this one nope, this is a different one. And it's got blue in the back. And then this one has blue like that. And then that Blackberry Bliss, look at how rich that is. This is the one we're going to be using for my card. Whoops, that just changed. Wow, that color. It's actually more blackberry. Do you see how it changed? Oh, no, my light didn't go out. I don't know why. I wonder if it's the sun and the position of the sun. But anyway, that one. Look at that. And then the wild wheat. And that's it. So pretty, pretty paper. And so I thought, I've got stamps that I can use with this. So I bought the paper. I bought, like I said, these are the gems. These are called Regal Foil gems, and they've got a lot of the colors that are in there. So there's like the Blackberry Bliss, and this looks almost like Misty Moonlight. And I don't know if that's a pretty and pink. And then there's like a green that's there. So just very, very pretty. And they've all got gold fleck in them. And like I said, that ribbon, oh, this ribbon, we're going to use this as well. So this is a fun fold card that I saw from Julie DiMatteo, who is the Paper Pixie. So if you ever go to YouTube and you do a search for the Paper Pixie, Julie does a ton of 3D items. And a lot of times when she does her 3D items, she creates a card that matches. And so that's what she did with this one. And I'm like, I love that fold. I've never seen that fold. So we are going to do that fold. So this is my fun fold card for you. And it uses a lot of paper. Anyway, so this was the design that I decided to use, which has Blackberry Bliss. And my favorite color to put with Blackberry Bliss is Fresh Freesia. And I thought that there were some lighter purples in there. And on the back, it doesn't say that Fresh Freesia is one of the colors, but it really goes well with it. The other color that really went well with this was Smoky Slate. I put some Smoky Slate next to it, and there's like almost like some grays in here, and it looked really nice. And then I also looked at Petunia Pop. I felt like the Petunia Pop was just a little bit off. I kind of thought that that was the color right there. But out of all of them, I really liked the Fresh Freesia with it. So we're going to make a card today with Fresh Freesia. So this is going to be to do our envelope at the end. So my card base is Fresh Freesia, and it measures 5.5 by 8.5. And on the 8.5 side, I scored at 4 1/4, which is where you normally score. And then I scored at 5 7/8, which is the 1 mark on your score, a little 2 marks over if you're using the scoring tool, the trimmer. But 5 7/8, and then 6 3/8, and at 8 inches. So you're going to have a total of 4 score lines on that. All right. Then our inside piece is not quite 4 by 5 1/4. It's actually 3.5 by 5 1/4. And I'll show you why, because we're going to do some folding and making this card stand up. All right. Then we have another piece of Fresh Freesia that measures 2 3/4 inches by 4 inches. And then we have some of our DSP that we're going to put on top of that. And that measures 2.5 by 3 3/4. So it's just 1/4 of an inch smaller, so that you get an 1/8 of an inch border around the outside. And then we have one more piece of Designer Series paper, and this measures 1 3/8 inch by 5 1/4 inches. All right, I am going to, and then I used our Season of Greetings labels, and I cut out a label of the, this is Fresh Freesia, and we're going to be using this to stamp a greeting on the front of our card. And then we also have to stamp on this piece right here. So I am going to use Blackberry Bliss ink to bring out the Blackberry Bliss that's in there. And I went to the hexagon. What's the name of the set? It's something with hexagon. This is one of the stamps that's in there, and it's on here crooked. Let me put it on here straight. Let me put it on here straight. Oh, I had some graph paper. I don't know what I did with it. All right. So I hope your day is filled with joy. That is going to go on our outside label. I'm going to stand so that I can get that straight. Okay. And then in there, we have this little like fleur thing that I'm just going to put on the bottom like that. And then I'm going to stay standing. I should have done that up a little bit higher, but I'm also going to put a bow there. So I don't want the bow to get in the way, or not a bow, a knot. And then we're going to put our happy birthday near the center. And I'm going to put these in each of the corners as well. So the happy birthday is coming from, let me see what the name of that set is. I have it right here. I think I have it right here. I have a lot of sets out right now. I take them out of the alphabetical order that I have them in normally because, okay, so Heartfelt Hexagon is where I got the stamp, the outside greeting, and where I got that little fleur thing. And then the happy birthday is coming from Label with Love. So it's up there in the corner. Right. So I didn't get the stamp set that goes with this, but I'm still making a card with all of the papers. Thanks, Kathy. Yeah. Heartfelt Hexagon. I had to go look it up because I can't remember all of them. All right, let me take this label off here. That might help a little bit. All right, let's do this layering right here before go ahead and layer this onto this fresh freesia. Okay, so this is a 3D card. So you want to make sure that you get all of these score lines really burnished. So I'm going to go ahead and burnish there. I'm going to burnish there. And they're all getting folded in. So they're getting folded in the correct direction. Okay. Then what I want to do is I want to fold on the second one. So we've got this 8-inch one here. And then this is at the 6 3/8, I think. So if I fold on that one, then what I want to do is I want to fold this in, and it might be a little bit snug. See how it's starting to buckle a little bit. So what you want to do is you want to force it down with your bone folder. So I want to force it to go so that it goes straight, or that it lays flat. If you don't do this and you put your glue on, what's going to happen is it's going to be kind of buckled. So I basically had to force this so it was exactly where it would go, so it would lay flat. Even though I have it all scored, depending on how far over you go for your score line, do you go right up to the mark? Do you touch the mark? Do you go a little over? Like, everybody scores a little bit differently. So it is going to possibly not line up exactly. So if you just push this in and then force it down with the bone folder, that will make it work. So you can kind of see this is a little bit folded in here so that it fits. Okay, once I've done that, I'm just going to put some glue. Now you can use tear and tape if you want, or you can just use liquid glue. If you use liquid glue, you just have to wait a little bit and press it for a little bit to make sure that it is completely adhered. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fold on there, fold the card in half, and make sure that I give that a good press and give it time to dry a little bit and to adhere. All right, so that's how my card is going to stand up. Has anybody else seen this before? I hadn't seen this before. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is different. Okay, so now because this was folded over, That's why this only had to be 3.5. Okay, so this is going to go right in there, and it goes right up to the corner, so you don't have to leave an edge on that end part. So we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to our white. I'm almost going to have to replace that again too. I replaced, I think, it 3 times yesterday. I know I should be using liquid glue when I'm making a lot of cards, but sometimes it goes faster for me with this. Hi, Linda. All right, so that's going to go in there like that. Then we're going to fold this like this, so it's going to lay flat in the envelope like this. So this little piece is going to go right inside of there from that score line to the end. And if you have a directional paper, it's going to make sure that this is the 1 3/8 and that's the 5 1/4, so that your print is going in the correct direction. And same thing here. And you can make these different. So I used this fold for my color club. So if any of you are on here in my color club, I have, oh, I just froze up for a second. Okay, if you're in my color club, I just made this one with our peach pie as our color this month, and I'll be getting those off to you. My goal was to get them out to you yesterday, and it didn't quite happen. So I'm hoping that tomorrow, when I get out of school, I can do some deliveries. Okay, so this is going to go in here. So it's going to cover this happy birthday. I only want it to be attached in this middle section so that it can pop out like this and stand up. And so I'm only going to put glue in between here. Okay, I don't want to go too far. I want to keep about 1 inch at the top and 1 inch at the bottom. And then I want to center this up from this end to that end. And give that a good press. You don't want to go too far out because you don't want it to seep over and attach it on this side. So you want to definitely keep the glue or the tear and tape or whatever you decide to use. You want to keep it right inside of there. Okay, so that's going to stand up like that. Isn't that cool? Like I said, I didn't come up with this. Julie DiMatteo, the paper pixie. All right, let's go ahead and get some of our ribbon. We don't need a lot. Hopefully I can tie a knot with that. We're just going to put this through here. And if you don't want to string it through there, you could always just tie a knot and put a glue dot over the hole and just glue dot it to the top if you don't want to string it through. I ended up putting it through and tying the knot and then trimming these off. Isn't that ribbon just so rich looking? Oh, with that paper. Oh, I loved it. Okay. I just had, oh, here. Why did I put the dimensionals back there? I never put things where they're supposed to go. And now I had to reach over again for you. I may put a few glue dots on my ribbon to hold it where I want it to be. These labels are cool too. So these are online exclusive. It's called Greetings of the Season. Greetings of the Season, I think it's called. And these are the labels that go with that stamp set. Hope your day is filled with joy. Happy birthday. And what I might do is just take a glue dot here and I might pop it behind the ribbon here so it stays where I want it to stay. Because you can't see that, right? That looks a little bit better than how it was going crazy. And that one seems to be staying in place. So just needed one. All right. And then these fun gems. We're going to take the this one right here. And I'm just going to take one. And I'm just going to pop it like right at the bottom here. Whoops. Or on my finger. I could put it on my finger too. just putting it right there. I didn't think it needed to be anywhere else. I just thought that looked nice just to add that little bit. Yes, Renee, one of my favorite color combinations is Blackberry Bliss with Fresh Freesia. So I pulled out a couple of different colors with this. Like I said, I tried Smoky Slate. Let me show you some of the colors I told you about. Hi, Miss Lila. Okay. So these were some of the colors that I looked at. So here's Smoky Slate with it. So you could see you could get away with that. There's like little gray in here. This I thought was just a little bit too much. I thought the Fresh Freesia was perfect with it. So I chose the Fresh Freesia. So this stands up like this. Okay, so it can stand like that. So you can display it and see this part, and you can see the happy birthday when it's standing up, and then it folds nice and flat to go into your card or into your envelope. Speaking of envelopes, let's go ahead and add some of that pretty paper to the back flap here. And let's see, is there a right or wrong way? I don't think so. Maybe. All right, so we're going to put that on there. We'll go ahead and cut around this. I can go get one of my other cards that I made for my color club. Okay, so there's that one. Then I also thought I would try one of the other colors. So this is in Early Espresso, and this is some of the new wild wheat that comes with that autumn suite of products. And then these are some of the gems that they're right here because I used them on Sunday when I did this card. Or no, yesterday, Monday. Adhesive back textured dots. So there's a little bit of texture on there, but it's a real tiny little dot. But it has the same thing, but it's in wild wheat and Early Espresso, and it uses one of the other papers in there. So that was fun. All right, let me go I'm going to go quickly get my color club, and then I'll show you Kay's card too since I'm going there. We're not going outside, Lila. Nope, we're not going outside. All right. This is a good opportunity for me to share with you what my color club is. So for anyone who's wondering, what does she mean by a color club? So I had 4 people that joined my color club this last year. So what I do is I take the new in colors, and the first day that the catalog goes live, I order everything, every single color. So they get a pack of paper. They get the stamp pad, the re-inker. They can add the blends if they want. There's a spool of the ribbon. I provide some color combinations of colors to go with it. So they get one of these with each of the colors. So instead of having to pay the money, they did get some of the designer series paper. They also got some of the gems that they got the first month with everything. And then every month there's a different color. So this is the month 5. So this is the last one that they're getting, which is peach pie. So it all comes in a little container like this, but they also get 3 cards that I make with featuring that color as well. So I did that same fold. So happy to celebrate you. Happy birthday with the peach pie. And this is some of that paper. And then they're getting this one. And then they're getting this one. So those of you, Amanda's on here. I just saw Amanda Shabo. She's getting it. Kay was on here. So I will be getting these to you hopefully tomorrow. But now you got a little sneak peek of what you get. So what they do is they make a payment to me. I send them a bill every month, which I have to bill them tonight. And then they pay that bill, and then they get this sent to their house. So after today, they have all 5 of the new in colors, and they didn't have to pay the whole upfront cost. They could pay it a little bit each month until they had everything. So that is my color club. This is the card that I received from Kay. Look at how beautiful that is. And she was thanking me for a stamp set that she won. She said this wasn't her design. I think I did a card similar to this in one of my classes as well. All right, I mentioned that I would show you some of the cards that are in my card buffet. I have one that uses the Autumn Suite of products. And again, I changed this up a little bit, but not a whole lot. So this is, look at that paper, right? We use that pumpkin patch, and then Have a Blessed Day is coming from our Unbounded Love. I believe that's where it came from. And then this is a fall birthday card that has some pumpkins on the inside as well. So that's one of the cards that I made with that. This is also new product right here. So we got a chance to get this little bird set early. So this is a wonderful, like you could put one here and make it a full wreath if you wanted to. This is just a simple thank you card with some different colors instead of all the colors for fall. Let's see, what else did I use that was new? This is one of my favorites. So this is a cool standalone stamp set that doesn't have any dies with it, but it has this May Your Day Be Filled With, and has a whole bunch of things that you can put on the top. It fits our 2 3/8 inch circle punch. There's a happy birthday that you could put in here, but I liked the May Your Day Be Filled With Sunshine and Smiles. So I took the sunshine from a different set. These flowers and the little leaves are from this set. These are all separate stamps that you would just stamp. And then I used the Happiest of Birthdays from a different set that I put in there. So this is so fun. And then this paper is from the Mediterranean paper. So it has all the lemons and the oranges and stuff like that on one side. And then it has these navy and white. And I love navy and white with a pop of yellow or a pop of pink. So in this case, I used Flirty Flamingo to kind of make it pop a little bit. And I made my own designer series paper there with just stamping some of those images over and over again. And then this is a little bit of silver trim. And then I have a couple of our iridescent gems in there as well. So this, I had fun playing with that step set as well. I think that's about it for the brand new stuff. I mean, I have the loveliest tree and the gold, the changing leaves, and some of that kind of stuff in there. But these are the things that are going to be in the new catalog that I thought I would just share with you tonight. So our cards tonight, we did this fun fold. We broke into this new Christmas suite to make a really simple on the go type Christmas card. If you have to make a whole bunch of them and you don't want it to be too overwhelming, this would be a great one to do. And that is it. Let me go ahead, turn my light back on, flip my camera again. Let's see here. This, and that. All right. So that is all I have for you today. I am going to, for Saturday, I'm going to work on some autumn cards because I know I did Christmas. This one was birthday. And it was nice fall, rich colors, I thought, with the burgundy and or the blackberry bliss. So I will work on using that autumn suite. And then if there's something else that you're like, I'd really love to see a card made with such and such a set from the new holiday catalog, let me know what that set is, because I don't have everything, but I do have the reindeer. I do have the little snowman with the snow globes. I do have that set. I have the trees that go with the peaceful season. Let's see, what else do I have? I did not get the bow maker thing. I just got the paper that goes with that. But if there's something that you saw in the catalog that you were like, I really want to know how to make that, or I really want to see her make something with that stamp set, because maybe you're a demonstrator and you're stuck, you haven't been able to figure anything out. Um, the stamp set that I had to do for my suite was the sentimental Christmas. It has like the stocking and it has some greenery. It has the paper. I love the fact that a portion of the paper goes towards helping with literacy for kids, but it had this paper, then it had this things. This is like kind of gives you a hint of what I did with one of my cards. But then it had all different types of things. So there wasn't like one thing. So if there's anything that you're thinking you really, really, really want to see this certain stamp set, let me know that. All right, I think I'm going to sign off. Like I said, tomorrow night I have to be at parent back to school night. Thursday night I have volleyball. So Friday I'm going to be making the cards for Saturday morning. So let me know. I like the reindeer bundle. Yeah, Amanda, me too. It's really cute. So do you want me to make something with that? I think I will make something with that. I've been wanting to get that out. So all right, you guys have a great rest of the week. At least it is a short week, right? And you'll see me again on Saturday. I'll be back. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you place an order, once the catalog goes live, this is my host code right now. If it is if your order is under $150, if you use that, it helps me with getting prizes. If it's over $150, you take those hostess benefits yourself. Don't give them to me. So, Marva, we have 4 days of school in already. Our first day of school is last Wednesday. So it's been fun being back in the classroom. So thank you guys so much. And those of you that said you hopped on late, go back. I have all the dimensions posted for the fun fold and also for the layout card that we did. So thank you guys so much and have a wonderful rest of the week. See you on Saturday. Bye-bye.